Hi, today we're going to talk about being a hypocrite. As we approach Christmas, the opportunity increases to talk about Jesus. But no one wants to listen to a hypocrite. I say that and I'm like, well, let's go back to the Bible and see, is that true? Is being a hypocrite good or bad? Well, Romans 2:3 says, "Do you suppose, O man, you who judge those who practice such things and yet do them yourself, that you will escape the judgment of God?" Paul was telling them that they weren't practicing what they were preaching. Not a good thing. 2 Timothy 3:5 says, "Having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power." Avoid such people. So you need to stay away from those type of people. Titus 1:16. They profess to know God, but they deny him by their works. They're detestable, disobedient, unfit for any good work. Psalms 101:7. No one who practices deceit shall dwell in my house. No one who utters lies shall continue before my eyes. Matthew 24:51. Cut him in pieces and put him with the hypocrites. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Put him in the place where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Hypocrisy is a practice rooted in the Greek word for an actor. It's one who wears a mask to play a different role. So anyway, thought maybe we could do just a little self-check. See if there are any signs possibly of being a hypocrite. Would it surprise you to discover that Jesus didn't like hypocrites either? He said they made a mockery of true faith and brought disgrace to it. In fact, some of Jesus' strongest words were directed at people who claimed to follow God, but in reality weren't obeying him. But they were selfish and unloving and evil. On one occasion, he boldly condemned some of the religious leaders of his day with the words, "On the outside you appear to be righteous, but on the inside you're full of hypocrisy and wickedness." Something to think about, right? So let's look for just a second. Common signs of a hypocrite. They say one thing, and yet they do another. Hypocrites often express beliefs or values, but fail to act in accordance with them. They have two sets of rules, theirs and everyone else's. Lack of accountability. They like to blame others. They make promises, and then they break them. Judgmental behavior. They're quick to judge. Boy, they'd love to criticize others for their behavior. But they themselves exhibit showcasing a double standard. They preach morality, but they live immorally. They have manipulative tendencies. They are masters of manipulation. They often twist facts or situations just to benefit themselves, leaving others feeling confused or guilty. And they have a lack of empathy. Hypocrites may struggle to understand or care about the feelings of others. They always prioritize their own needs. Just curious, do any of these resonate with you? If that's the case, why is that bad? Something to think about for a minute, okay? Some so-called Christians are hypocrites. So-called Christians. Some things to consider if you find yourself into this category. Because if you're a hypocrite, you can't really share the gospel because no one wants to listen to a hypocrite. If you practice hypocrisy, you're probably not a real Christian anyway. We were created to glorify God. Jesus was very clear. Being a hypocrite does not glorify God and will be sent to a place of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Yep, hell is where they end up. That's an eternal mistake. So if it's you, take off the mask. Put on the full armor of God. Especially this time of year when we're trying to share Christ. We don't want to give anyone a reason to not listen to what we have to say. The good news is for everyone. Think about it.